Hey everybody, first week of December. Oh, let me show you. Look, there's your tree. I guess I'm just now realizing I'm looking over at that tree, facing in that direction. Little plaza, sweet little plaza in Taos, New Mexico. I had to get out of southern Colorado. It was too cold for this Florida-born being. Just kind of saying hi, staying connected, updating you a little bit, and responding to a couple of comments. Somebody had reached out and asked about life purpose, and what was the second thing? I just wanted to clarify something that I had said about emotions, kind of categorizing them in the category of ease and dis-ease. If you look at the way that somebody like Dr. David Hawkins created his map of consciousness, otherwise known as a scale of emotions, they can be categorized in kind of like one box of love and one box of fear. For my purposes, I'm calling that ease and dis-ease. As I continue to study integrative medicine, and I really just wanted to clarify that to me, they are all holy and all sacred. Every feeling, every emotion. I used to say that word emotion, if you break it up with a hyphen, motion, it just means energy in motion. And to me, our emotions are like a guidance system. Oh, listen to those bells. I was just thinking about those bells. And they're going off. How cool. Oh man. Let's just listen for a second. I'll give you a quick little view so you know what the surroundings are here. One. Does that mean it's one? There's the Christmas tree. There you go. There's your little wraparound view. Probably a good thing I paused there. People were just honking horns at each other. I saw that the other day. Well, there goes another one. And then there was like this string of fire trucks and emergency vehicles, and it's this just most sweet, quiet little town. And I don't know, I'm just noticing what's going on around me. I historically have interesting experiences in New Mexico, the land of enchantment. For, whatever that means. Energy is different all over the planet because of the ley lines and vortices and the people that live there and collective thought, etc. But anyway, it has me paying attention. I've been looking at the Schumann resonance graph. I used to talk about that in class a little bit. If you go to your app store, you can just type in Schumann resonance, and if you're curious about this. And the energy that has been coming into the planet is very, very, very high. And it's not only is it high, but it's been going on for days. And that was after a really long, sort of quiet releasing period of energy. Goodness gracious. Just lots going on in this particular chapter of our awakening. What else? I think Mercury's in retrograde until the 15th. I don't know if that has anything to do with me getting my website stuff together. I'll talk a little bit about that at the end. So I wonder how everybody is faring in all of this. I'm going to keep my statements pretty general, because when I start to get too specific and I get into explanation mode, I just go on and on and on, and I can make these videos just way too long. So that's just telling me I kind of need to break that information up. One thing I know for sure is I really don't know anything. What I know is I'm living in a giant mystery. Absolutely. And I'm a curious being, and I like to inspect thoughts, ideas. But, at the end of the day, I don't know. And I really like listening to orators, teachers, speakers, doctors, metaphysicians, philosophers. I like to hear what they think about the world, and then I watch them contradict one another, and it just has me settling in. It's a mystery, and it's like we're just, I don't know, we're just curious beings being curious, and it's to me it's hard not to ask, like, what am I doing here? Why am I here? What is my purpose for being here? What is going on? What does all this mean? Like, I'm a very curious being, and so those questions are pretty much right there at the forefront of my heart and mind. As far as purpose goes, sometimes I'm in the mind frame, and I'm speaking very generally right now. Sometimes I'm in the mind frame of, well, I'm here to experience. And then sometimes it's, I'm here to have a human experiment. And if you listen to teachers like Abraham Hicks, they say we have a trifecta of intentions, and that is freedom, growth, and joy. Again, this is general. I heard somebody say the other day they hated the idea of purpose because they always felt like they didn't know what it was, and they always felt like they were failing, or they made it this grand thing, this grandiose thing. And, I don't know. I don't exactly know where we get that idea from, that it's got to be this grand, in our human eyes and human terms, this grandiose thing. I feel like just being an infinite energetic being in a finite human body is pretty profound. I heard Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle, tomato, talk about presence as being the purpose, being in the now, training oneself essentially to be in the now, where the ego cannot exist when you are fully present. Not that there's anything wrong with the ego. To me, the ego is the amigo. It's one of our main tools for all of our purposes on this planet. So if you're curious about such things, you can see what he has to say on that topic. Great philosophical minds like Teilhard de Chardin and Teresa of Avila. This is a big statement. Our purpose for being here is to bring heaven to earth, or higher consciousness to lower or denser states of consciousness. This is all stuff I'll kind of yap about because it's always floating around in my head and heart. But I'm gonna leave these statements pretty general right now and see how you feel about them. I did some one-on-one work with a teacher and a guide that I very much respect, and we use some NLP techniques, neuro-linguistic programming, to get to my conscious definition of my purpose and mission, how those are different, and how it's largely misunderstood. It's a lot of people think it's gonna come falling out of the sky like, this is your purpose, when really it's a conscious choosing. But again, how many opinions are there out there? How many truths are out there? I heard the coolest statement the other day. It said, there are no facts. There is only collective consensus. I'm still sitting with that one. Fascinating. I think that one's pretty fascinating. Anyhow, and just wanted to clarify that in no way, shape, or form am I saying that any emotions are bad, that there are good and there are bad. To me, it is a guidance system for purposes of studying them, getting to know them. They can be categorized into easeful, like, how do you feel in your body when you're feeling joyful and blissful? There's a relaxed feeling in the body. Or if you're really angry and scared, I know if that's me, my whole body is tight, I'm gritting my teeth, and my breath is shallow, and that to me is not a state of ease, because any of this information that I learn about, it's kind of got to pass my experience test. My experience is there's a group of emotions that feel easier to be with. I feel like I'm in a state of ease, and then others not, or lack of ease or dis-ease. And then there is neutrality. So if you're familiar with Dr. David Hawkins' map of consciousness, otherwise known as a scale of emotions, it goes from 0 to 1,000. On this lower half are these denser emotional states: apathy, shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear. Then it starts to move up to like courage and neutrality, and then it gets into the higher consciousness emotions. I had this thought the other day. So I study the realm of the quantum, the subatomic, the really, really small. And think about the subatomic particles of the proton, the electron, and the neutron. It's positive, negative, and neutral. And these 3 subatomic particles are all working together. These charges, a positive charge, a negative, and then a neutral, all working together to organize the universe and to help it to expand. So to me, I thought about the emotions like that. Those having a negative charge, a neutral or a positive charge, and us experiencing this whole spectrum, and it helping, that's us as a part of this universe, as made up of these subatomic particles, holding together and expanding this universe. There's more to be said on that. Told myself very little explaining today, Erica, because I got carried away yesterday, and I'm trying to learn to reel it in, Erica, like a fishing reel. Reel it in, girl. I can't seem to help myself. I'm going to say this one last thing. Do some of you remember I had given you a video somewhere, blog, newsletter? It's one of my very favorite things. Dr. Bruce Lipton, cell biologist Dr. Bruce Lipton, was explaining something about the cell that was misunderstood for a long time. For a long time, people thought the nucleus of the cell was the brain. As a cell biologist, he discovered that it is the cell membrane itself that is a receptor of signal, of information, of energies. That is actually the brain of the cell. He's saying that the nucleus is like the reproductive organs of this cell. And I like to play with ideas, and I was like, whoa, okay, so in the reproductive system of this cell, you've got the positive charge, the negative charge, and the neutral charge, all working together. And that's like the reproductive center is like, that is what's generating life. That is what is creating. And us as creators, it's like we're giving birth to new life with the assistance of this guidance system, this emotional guidance system we have. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna save y'all from some rabbit holes, because I have been digging around in those rabbit holes all by myself, and there is definitely such a thing as thinking too much. And I gotta get going over to Santa Fe. I keep trying to get into a little bit of warmer climate at a time because I had a little bit of a freezing experience in southern Colorado. But I'm gonna go see a good friend of mine who works at Meow Wolf. She used to live in Austin, and some of you may even know who I'm talking about, as we've talked about this mutual friend of ours. She's been working at Meow Wolf in Santa Fe. Really cool, incredible artist. Used to come to a lot of my Yoga Alchemy yoga classes. I'm just throwing out hints out there in case any of you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, she's having an art show tonight, and the first time I met this friend, it was at one of her art shows in Texas, and I thought, how interesting. I randomly come into town at a random time, and I know she's been very busy at Meow Wolf, and I'm so glad to see she's still putting on art shows and creating, and so I'm gonna go see that friend. And I was joking with, don't tell anybody, I was joking with somebody about, so I made this little list of these towns I want to hit as I'm gently making my way back to Austin, because I still got a house to pack up and stuff. I said, I'm gonna stop in Roswell and see if the aliens will beam me up. So I'll either let you know how that happened, how that went, or I won't. You'll just have to be like, did they beam her up? Anyway, so that's on my way. I've got a package in Albuquerque I've got to go pick up. They were supposed to send it out to Colorado. They didn't. So I got to go back through Albuquerque to get that package. And I'm going to go check on my friend who's right outside of Austin, who is has been recovering from some pretty intense neck surgery. And I just want to see my good friend and see if I can be of any use to her in her moment of recovery. And then back to Austin. If something else happens along the way, like an alien abduction, then, you know, that'll change my plans. But just letting y'all know what I'm up to. I love hearing what you all are up to. Please feel free to leave any comments, and that helps me know what people are interested in hearing, you know. All right. I love you. Mean it. My entire site went down last night as I was just going to go ahead and give access and not worry about any of these plugins, and then discovered that it's these plugins themselves that are causing some real issues with the website. And I went from about 5 team members down to 1, who's also very busy with other things. And so the whole site crashed last night. I thought, is it mercury in the microwave? What are these obstacles? What does it mean? I don't know. I'm still moving in that direction. We'll see what divine timing is. And love y'all. Talk to you soon. Hope you're doing as well as possible in our feral times. Wild souls we are to choose to be here right now. Good for us.